Good morning and welcome back. I hope you've had a great week. For the last 2 weeks, I have been sharing with you parts of my story, and I've been doing that in the context of different decades. I just realized I've been doing this for 2 weeks. I've lived for a lot of decades. Well, I come to the last one today, and it's the one that started 2010. I don't know what you call that, the teens, the tens, whatever it is. This is the last one. It has been a memorable 10 years. I've gotten to do some good travel, wonderful places. Emily and I went to Ireland to celebrate her 30th birthday. It was a father-daughter excursion, and we had a lot of fun. Kim and I have been able to go visit her sister and brother-in-law who live in South Dakota. And while we've been out there, we have been able to also see buffalo and some amazing landscapes. We've put our foot not only in South Dakota, but North Dakota and Wyoming and Montana, and I was able to check those off of my bucket list as well. When I was 20 years old, I lived in Israel, and I celebrated my birthday there. And so I was fortunate enough to be able to wake up on my 60th birthday in Jerusalem. And for Kim and I to go for a couple of weeks and show her and the places that had meant so much to me and the places that mean so much to us, also spiritually. And then a few years later, to be able to share that same kind of experience with my church family. Those have been truly memorable and rewarding experiences. I wouldn't take anything for them. As I've also thought about this decade, I have realized that it's kind of a time of reversals. Our kids left with no intention of returning home again. They were out making their own life, their way in life, and establishing themselves in other places. So we did what a lot of people our age do, and we downsized. And then they shocked us when they made the decision that they were going to come back to Maryville. And so a few years ago they did. And when they did that, we upsized again because we needed a place that would hold all of us during those times that we came together. So kind of doing things a little backward. It's also been a time when I would say our roles have been reversed. Over the last few years, Kim and I have assumed the role of caregivers for our parents, the people who gave care to us in the early part of our lives, and so now it's our turn. Kim's mother died a few years ago, and her dad and her mom, and her dad and my mother have both moved to Maryville in recent years, in the last year or so. And so now we have 4 generations of our family living here. And as caregivers, that's a different role for us to do that toward parents. I've also experienced, I guess a good way to say is maybe a reversal in some of the ways that I have been thinking about things. I used to hold things really tightly. And what I'm learning is that I can release that grip and just let go of some things, or at least not hold it so tightly. I always felt like I had to defend God, because if I wasn't going to do it, then nobody was going to do it. Or not necessarily that nobody would do it, but that I needed to do it. But I've learned to lessen that grip and to understand and to learn that God is capable of defending himself whenever he needs to be defended. I don't have to assume that role. All I need to do are the things that he's called me to do. And primarily, that is to love him and to love other people. It's not so important to me what people wear to church anymore. I can let go of that grip. I'm just glad that people come. Spiritually, I find myself a lot less judgmental, a lot more open, and finding myself just thinking over and over, it's okay. It's okay. People will make different choices than I do, and that's okay. People will believe differently than I do. That's okay. People will interpret Scripture differently. That's okay. People will connect differently to God than I do. And that's okay. And it's not so much that I have adapted an attitude that says just whatever you want to do, you do, and anything kind of goes. It's not that at all. It's just to say that I have learned that God is in control and that God is going to take care of things. And so therefore, I don't have to hold on so tightly to those things that I just had strong grips with before, because it's going to be okay. And that is a great way to live. It's been a great gift from this decade. I don't know if that comes from age or if that comes from wisdom or maturity or a combination of all of those things, but I have truly enjoyed that. I will have to say, though, that the best part of this past decade has been being a grandfather. There's something about it that is amazing, just amazing. And it is a reversal to be able to go back and almost be a child again and to experience the joy of what it means to live as a child. And our friends who have been grandparents before us have told us for years, just you wait. There's nothing like being a grandparent. Just you wait. Your time is going to come, and you'll see. And I would say, yeah, I agree with you. And I did. I truly believe that there would be nothing like being a grandparent. But wow, they didn't even come close to being able to put their finger on truly what it means to be a grandparent. Now, I know that every grandparent thinks that their grandchildren are the best, and I'm sure that they think that, and they think that honestly. But, well, never mind. I won't go there. Let's start something I don't want to start. But I do want to say that being a grandfather, I am in constant awe and wonder of Deacon and Caroline. Every move they make, every word or sound that they utter, every smile that comes across their face, or every time they reach out to me, or every time they fall on top of me, every time I hear the word granddad, I am amazingly lifted up above everything. All of my circumstances, all of my responsibilities, all of the things that would try to get me down and pull me down. And in here, I am just overwhelmed with that sense that says, I'm okay. I am okay. They do that for me. And I tell you, that is the best gift of the decade. If you haven't gotten there, you just wait. You don't even know what you're in for. If you're there already, you know what I'm talking about. I hope that as you think about your journey and your life, that you can also say, really, it has gotten better and better with every decade. And because of that, I know that the best is yet to come. And I'm looking forward to it, and I hope we spend it together. Have a great weekend. Join us for worship on Sunday. See you then.